How low will the UT Austin out-of-state acceptance rate go? That is the topic of today's video. My name is Craig Meister. I'm a college admissions coach. You can learn more about me and how you can work with me one-on-one throughout the entire college admissions process on my website, which is collegemeister.com. And if you're interested in learning about whether or not you are or your student is on track for selective college admission in the United States of America, visit areyouontracktogetin.com. Again, that's areyouontracktogetin.com, at which you will complete a free 3-minute assessment. Your results will be emailed to you right away, and they will help you clarify whether or not you are or your student is on track for selective college admission in the United States of America. The headline reads, "Demand soars as UT shatters record for freshman applications." Applications for freshman admission to the University of Texas at Austin increased 24.3% for the fall 2025 term, compared with the number received 1 year ago. The university received 90,562 applications during the submission period of August 1st to December 1st, compared with 72,885 applications received for fall 2024 admission. Applications from Texas residents increased by 12%, while out-of-state applications soared by 48%. This marks the third consecutive year UT has received a record-breaking volume of freshman applications. Quote, "Our applications provide evidence that more people around the country are realizing that we offer an unparalleled combination of academic excellence, affordability, opportunity, and campus experience," end quote, said UT President Jay Hartzell. Quote, "Our excellence starts with our faculty and student body and covers a broad span from AI to energy, the arts, and athletics. And we continue to find new ways to make this excellence at scale more affordable and accessible to students from an incredible variety of backgrounds, and to make sure they succeed once they are here," end quote. This UT press release goes on to talk about some new programs that they believe are attracting the greater interest from first-year applicants. And while that may be true on the margins, at the end of the day, we're still in the early years of UT Austin accepting the Common App. And so ultimately what I chalk this up to is that the Common App is basically fueling the surge in applications from out-of-state students to UT Austin. I have done previous videos on UT Austin. You should watch them. They are linked in this video's description. You should watch those. One of which was done earlier this year, where I announced that UT Austin was creating a new application deadlines for early action, for regular, and that too, of course, has played a role here in terms of sort of sparking excitement, giving individuals the impression that, oh, I got to get my application in early. Maybe I'll have a better chance of getting into this highly selective school for out-of-state students. And of course, it is a very well-regarded institution. I've also done another video this year about highly overrated institutions in the United States, one private, one public. You should watch that as well. At the end of the day, this is not really surprising news. Texas is a hot state, and Texas will continue to attract new residents and great interest because of policies in place in Texas that make it a desirable place to live for many individuals. So lots of things are combining to support greater demand, greater interest in receiving a UT Austin education. This big surge in interest and first-year applications will further the trend that I think all first-year applicants should be very much aware of, which is getting into UT Austin from out of state is extremely difficult. And so difficult that one really has to weigh the pros and cons of if it's worth even applying, considering the other colleges on one's list. Because it's increasingly like a shot in the dark, a moonshot, as they say, to get in from out of state. And considering the amount of work one needs to do and hoops one needs to jump through to actually complete that UT Austin application, weighing that compared to some intriguing public options in your own state versus other states, it is going to become increasingly difficult, in my mind, to make the argument that a good number of out-of-state students have any business really spending much time on a UT Austin application. For the right fit students, of course, it may be worth it, but there would have to be a very compelling fit, in my mind, for me to recommend an out-of-state student applying to UT Austin, even an in-state student who's not going to get in through the top current 6% program, but the top 5% program, as it will be known shortly once that finalizes. It's also really hard for me to make that argument as well. A lot of really strong in-state students in Texas. Texas residents, parents who've paid taxes to Texas for 17, 18 years, are getting rejected from UT Austin because they do not fall in the top 5 or 6%. And also, they do not go to a school that does ranking. And as a result, they are going out of state to Ivy League institutions in many cases. So what a shame that a brain drain of that type is actually happening now in Texas as well. So this is a problem when UT Austin is sort of held up on this pedestal. There are, of course, other really intriguing options in Texas, Texas A&M to name just one, as a public option, of course. But, because Texas is growing so much, maybe it's time for Texas to consider having multiple really, really high quality, full-fledged research universities throughout the state, like California sort of sold itself as having over recent decades, where a number of the UCs are extremely in high demand. That would be something that maybe Texas should consider as well, so that all of the pileup doesn't happen getting into UT Austin. Or maybe they just make UT Austin even bigger, but they have to have the resources, housing-wise and in terms of human resources, of course, in order to make something like that happen. Before this cycle, the out-of-state acceptance rate for first-year applicants to UT Austin was hovering anywhere between 7% and 10%. But with this new influx of applications from out of state, I've got to believe that the out-of-state acceptance rate is now going to be closer to 5% plus or minus. And that's crazy, especially when you consider the in-state acceptance rate, because of the state statute that basically requires that 90% of the school be in-state students. Now, let's say you really want to get into University of Texas at Austin and you finished your Common App and you want to know if it's as strong as possible and whether or not in its current condition your chances of admission are impressive, inconclusive, or inadequate. You need my pre-read. Getting my pre-read now means having me review your entire application, just like an admissions officer or admissions committee will review it later, and receiving by email no later than the time you reserve a comprehensive report highlighting what's working and what's not on your full Common App, and in this case, your UT Austin Common App supplement. If you've yet to submit your Common App to UT Austin, my pre-read may motivate you to make adjustments to it before your deadline. If you've already submitted your Common App to UT Austin, my pre-read will prepare you for what I deem to be your likely admissions outcome at the University of Texas at Austin. To purchase my pre-read now, go to mypreread.com. Again, that's mypreread.com. If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. If you'd like to work with me one-on-one throughout the entire college admissions process, go to my website, which is collegemeister.com. Until next time, stay safe, stay well, and most importantly, stay stress-free throughout the entire college admissions process.